challenges, in our opinion, seem to have overwhelmed our security institutions.
The governors are supposed to be the state security officers of their state.
There is need for us to at least engage the traditional rulers.
We need to do something about our porous borders.
We have to own it from the unit level to the ward level to the local government to state.
Mr. President, the importance of today for us is for us to take action.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The executive has also shown commitment, willingness.
Senate attributes timely passage of 2022 Appropriation Act on legislature executive synergy.
And in a closed session, discuss on it and take a decision.
And Senate adopts resolution on withholding of assent to Electoral Act by President Buhari. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Senate, a review of chamber and committee activities in the Senate wing of the National Assembly. I am Hussaina Amina Aboki, your anchor. The Senate on Wednesday, the 22nd of December 2021, took a break to celebrate the Christmas and New Year. It is billed to resume on Tuesday, the 18th of January 2022. Before then, it treated several finance bills, prominent of which was the passage of the 2022 Appropriation Act. A report of the passage is the high point of our program. We have reports of other activities, including how the Senate responded to the withholding of assent to the Electoral Act by the President, screening of a presidential nominee as a minister, as well as activities from the committee rooms. Do stay tuned for the full details after the break.
The Senate to send a message to the President
To reap opportunities from that activity.
To raise a matter of urgent public importance. And we are aware that when this particular motion comes up,
for a longer term development, arise to second the motion.
Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Welcome back. Recall the presentation of the 2022 Appropriation Act by President Muhammadu Buhari to a joint session of the National Assembly on Thursday, the 7th of October 2021, which also marked its first reading, as well as its debate and second reading on Wednesday, the 13th of October 2021. Thereafter, it was referred to the Senate Committee on Appropriation, which referred same to standing committees, who now assume the position of subcommittees mandated to host ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, to budget defense exercises. With the completion of the exercise, the various subcommittees presented their reports to the Committee on Appropriation, which worked on them and compiled a final one, which was presented to Senate plenary, thereby paving the way for the third reading and passage of the Act before proceeding on the Christmas and New Year break on Wednesday, the 22nd of December 2021.
I stand to submit the report of the Senate Committee on Appropriations.
According to the chairman, Senator Barrow Jibrin, the committee arrived at the following figures, which showed various increases over what President Buhari presented. Total budget, 17.12 trillion naira as against the 16.39 trillion naira presented by the President. Capital expenditure, 5.4 trillion naira as against the 5.3 trillion naira presented by the President. Recurrent expenditure, 6.9 trillion naira as against the 6.8 trillion naira presented by the President. Debt service, 3.8 trillion naira as against the 3.6 trillion naira presented by the President. And oil benchmark, $62 per barrel instead of $57 per barrel recommended by the President. He expressed gratitude at the opportunity to serve.
I wish to thank the Senate President, the entire leadership of the Senate, the chairman and membership of our subcommittees for their cooperation and understanding in timely processing of this bill.
With this, the Senate resolved into the Committee of Supply and considered the report clause by clause leading to the passage of the Act. The Senate President commented on the passage.
Let me commend our committees, all our special and standing committees, for working so hard to enable us once again back to back pass the budget before the Christmas break. The executive has also shown commitment, willingness, and the capacity to work with us at our own speed to ensure that the budget is passed before Christmas.
Before the passage of the 2022 Appropriation Act same day, the Senate was presented with a vehement proposal from President Muhammadu Buhari through a motion titled 2021 Appropriation Vehement Proposal. It was presented by the Senate leader.
The details of the expenditures proposed for the environment are contained in Schedule 1 thereto attached, while Section Schedule 2 shows the source of the funds to be provided for the items in Schedule 1.
The first, scheduled in the sum of 276.7 billion naira, and the second in the sum of 365 billion naira were subsequently considered and approved in the Committee of Supply. As a prelude to the passage of the 2022 Appropriation Act on Tuesday, the 21st of December 2021, the Senate considered the report of its Joint Committee on Finance on the Finance Bill 2021. We have the report alongside other happenings in this next report as compiled and presented from our studio.
The report on the Finance Bill was presented to the Senate by the chairman of the Finance Committee, who gave their recommendations as follows.
1. That the 5% capital gain tax is to be imposed on shares deposited transaction where gain exceeding 250 million naira in 12 calendar months as reinvestment relief with obligation on the taxpayers to report disposal to FIRS annually. This has not been done in the past. 2. The gaming and lottery companies shall be taxable to bring betting, lottery, gaming, and wandering etc. companies within the corporate tax net. 3. The committee recommends that the oil and gas company should be taxable while the midstream and downstream oil and gas companies are liable to corporate tax without the benefit of tax exemption for firms exporting goods to earn foreign exchange in order to prevent double dipping by the gas utilization, as well as 2. Petroleum profit tax incentive or the pioneer tax holiday under ITRA.
There was no debate on the presentation as a result. The recommendations were considered in the Committee of the Whole and the Finance Bill read a third time and passed. Meanwhile, the implementation of the capital component of the 2021 Appropriation Bill was slow due to poor revenue inflow. As a result, it was not possible to achieve the January to December budget tenure, which contravenes some provisions of the Act prescribing that the implementation period must end on the 31st of December 2021. The need therefore arose for an extension beyond the 31st of December to 31st of March 2022. As a result, a bill to accord legislative backing to the extension was sponsored by the Senate leader entitled 2021 Appropriation Act Amendment Bill 2021. This was on Tuesday the 21st of December 2021. The presentation marked the first reading of the bill, paving way for second reading same day with another presentation which provided more clarification.
If we close the implementation to December 31st, a lot of this money, all this money, which they just funded recently, which they got and funded recently, will have to be brought to the treasury. And therefore, a lot of the capital budget is not going to be implemented. It is for this reason that an increased number, in order to abandon the increase, to avert the possibility of abandoned projects, and a lot of these projects were not provided for continuation in the 2022 budget. There's a need to extend the implementation year to 31st March 2022.
If we don't extend the period for the implementation of the capital projects as contained in this bill, it therefore means that this project will remain abandoned. So it's very, very important for the sake of fulfilling our zeal for proper infrastructure development in this country to allow this bill to go through.
And so, the bill scaled second reading and was referred to the Committee of the Whole, where it went through clause by clause consideration and eventually read third time and passed. With this, the implementation period for the 2021 appropriation is now extended to 31st of March 2022.
Those were highlights from Senate proceedings just before it recessed for the end of the year festivities. Let's take a break to open our notebook segment. Stand by for our topic of the week.
An appropriation bill is the bill that grants the executive permission to spend money set aside for projects as contained in the budget. It is presented to a joint session of the National Assembly by the President or his representative. After presentation, the bill is debated like every other bill and referred to the Committee on Appropriation, which supervises other committees in the scrutiny of the budget figures. The Appropriation Committee collates the figure and presents it before the Senate in the Committee of Supply for clause-by-clause consideration and eventual passage into law. Harmonization of the figures passed by both the Senate and House of Representatives will then follow, after which the harmonization bill is sent to the President for assent. Only then can appropriated monies be spent.
The only way out of the pandemic is for the population to observe the recommended measures advised by the NCDC, the Senate Committees on Health and Primary Health Care and Communicable Diseases will continue to engage with the Federal Ministry of Health and the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19.
Welcome back. The Senate's passage of the Electoral Act No. 6, 2010, Amendment Bill 2021, amongst other very important bills that have defied passage in previous legislatures, can be listed amongst the milestone achievements of the 9th Senate. With the passage and subsequent harmonization of the bill with the House version, it was referred to President Muhammadu Buhari for his assent. However, in a letter read on the floor of the Senate on Tuesday, the 21st of December 2021, the President announced his decision to withhold assent due to the inclusion of direct primary system in electing delegates in the amended act, amongst other things.
Direct primaries will be open to participation from all and sundry, and such large turnout without effective security coordination will also engender intimidation and disruptions, thereby raising credibility issues for the outcomes of such elections. The amendment as proposed is a violation of the underlying spirit of democracy, which is characterized by freedom of choices. Political party membership is a voluntary exercise of the constitutional right to freedom of association. Several millions of Nigerians are not card-carrying members of any political party. Thus, the emphasis should be on enabling qualified Nigerians to vote for the candidate of their choice during general elections as a means of participation in governance and furtherance of the concept of universal adult suffrage or universal franchise.
In a response later on that day, Senator George Sekibo came under matters of privileges to move a motion on the way forward.
It's my opinion that the Senate dissolve into a closed session and discuss on it so that we can take appropriate decision on it.
The Senate President concurred, as a result of which the rest of the matter was discussed behind closed doors. Responding to this development after another closed-door session on Wednesday, the 22nd of December 2021, Senate President Ahmad Lawan disclosed the resolution as being to consult with the House of Representatives in January when the House and the Senate would resume.
The Senate also resolved to consult with our constituents during our recess in January. The Senate believes that our constituents have a role to play as the major stakeholders in the laws that we make in the National Assembly.
Meanwhile, the Senate at plenary on Tuesday, the 21st of December 2021, conducted the screening of a presidential nominee, Muaz Jaji Sambo, for the position of minister. He is to replace the former Minister of Power, whose removal created a vacuum. The report is compiled and presented from our studio.
After ushering the nominee into the chamber, Muazu Jaji Sambo presented himself as a graduate of building technology from the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, who has made a mark in the infrastructural, banking and maritime sectors of Nigeria. This is said qualified him for the position. Some senators commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the nomination while also acknowledging his pedigree. They sought Senate consent for him to take a bow.
I present to us, distinguished colleagues, Sambo Jaji as our minister in the waiting.
This is wasting time and asking him questions. We should tell him to take a bow and go.
The Senate President disagreed, insisting the nominee must answer questions, with the first being on the Mambila Power Project in Taraba State.
Mambila Power Project. Could you tell us, tell the Senate whether you believe in that project, Mambila Hydro Project, and can you, if you believe in it, can you give us some assurances that you will do your best to make sure that that project takes off?
Supposing you are posted to the Ministry of Power, how do you plan to make sure that this jinx of Mambila Power Plant project is finally broken?
If I am posted to the Ministry of Power by Mr. President upon confirmation by this hallowed chamber, I will definitely make a difference within 1 year, God helping me. I know where the problem is and I can crack it.
I am sure Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will find him worthy of member of his cabinet. And therefore, without hesitation, I ask my colleagues to please ask the chairman to ask this candidate to bow and go.
Mr. Nominee, please come and take a bow and go.
With this, the nominee was confirmed in the committee of the whole.
From the committee rooms, a public hearing was organized by the Committee on Establishment and Public Service. It was on a bill titled Chartered Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Establishment Bill 2021. The report is compiled and presented from our studio.
Permit me to observe protocol and to welcome all of you to this public hearing.
Senate President Ahmad Lawan, who was represented by the Senate Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Philip Tanimu Aduda, declared the hearing open. He spoke on the importance of the bill.
The proposed Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering is a further addition to existing institutions like the Nigerian Society of Engineers and Council of Registered Engineers, COREN.
Earlier in a welcome address, the committee chairman, Senator Ibrahim Shekaro, assured stakeholders that their submissions will be treated accordingly.
The public hearing is an open exercise, and all those in attendance are free to express their opinions for the bill or any section of the bill, or against the bill or any section of the bill or any necessary amendment.
With this, the floor was open to contributions by stakeholders, starting first with the National Chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, NIEEE, who gave a historical overview of the institute.
The Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, simply called NIEEE, was officially inaugurated in 1984. So we've been around for decades as a group of registered electrical engineers under COREN. The core area are the documentation of our members. The members are fast growing. Also, the standardization with respect to code and standard, which we have been doing all these years, but it's like we're doing something without a legal backing.
This, according to him, is what the bill is seeking to achieve. However, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) views some sections of the new law as being in conflict with its mandates.
Section 1 of the bill, proposed bill, which reads, register, that's one of the functions for the Chartered Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering of Nigeria, states that the institute will be seized with one of a function to register, certify, and standardize the practice, education, services, equipment, systems, products, and qualifications. And our concern, therefore, is that we know that this particular provision may potentially conflict with the powers of the Commission to conduct type approval tests and issue certificates in respect of communications, equipment, and facilities.
The bill, as presently presented, is a copy of the mandate of CORE in all aspects and ramifications. We would have loved to see a more properly conceptualized bill for the electrical sector.
Our challenge with the bill comes from the sections that talks about standardization of products and equipment. Our position essentially is that these areas have been adequately covered by the SON Act. And just like we're represented in the proposed council, we believe that what could come in if there's a need for issues relating to standardization.
The responses generated reactions from some committee members.
When you said you have members of 15,000, I started laughing that what are they doing? When I got to England in 1984, the traffic signals on the road was called fixed time traffic signal. When I was living in England, they started using a lot of programs, scoot program. You see, when the ambulance comes off, the light will change to green automatically. A lot of things are happening there. And we have engineers here. We are talking of factions here and there. We are not even adding value to governance in this country. If you look at Abuja here, all the traffic signals in Abuja, they are fixed time traffic signals, and we have engineers. What are you people doing?
Why can't we work together? Why can't we have an institution, the COREN, that works? Why can't we carve a niche for ourselves within the COREN? And better for if we minimize what we have and we continue the way it is, and your component of COREN can go and fight within COREN and get what you want, I believe that is easier for all of us.
After more submissions, both written and oral, the committee promised to compile a report on the outcome for presentation to Senate during plenary.
The program Inside the Senate rounds up with our profile segment. Stand by for our Senator of the Week.
Senator Muhammad Adamu Alero represents Kebbi Central Senatorial District under APC. He had his earliest educational experience in an Islamic school before proceeding to Alero Town Planning School for his first school leaving certificate. For secondary education, he attended Government Secondary School Koko for his West African School certificate in 1976. Same year, he began his undergraduate studies at the Ahmad Bello University Zaria and graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Political Science in 1980. Senator Adamu Alero worked briefly with the Sokoto State government before joining the Nigerian Customs Service in 1980, serving till 1997 when he resigned to start a business. He later joined politics, contested and won election as governor of Kebbi State, serving 2 terms from 1999 to 2003 and 2003 to 2007. He also served as minister under the President Umar Musa Yar'Adua administration. He contested to the Senate in the 2015 general elections and won to represent Kebbi Central Senatorial District, serving from 2015 to 2019 and 2019 till date. In the Red Chamber, he is chairman, Senate Committee on Works, and a member of several other committees. His legislative interests include education, agriculture, and security.
This brings us to the end of this edition of Inside the Senate. Until I come your way again next time, stay safe and help government in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Wishing you the best of 2022, and thanks for watching.